The Vancouver Whitecaps Academy, possibly the weirdest of the 3 MLS academies in Canada. Some incredibly important players for the Canadian national team have come through the Vancouver Whitecaps Academy since they joined MLS. But despite that, this academy seems to have produced not a lot of talent when it comes to players who have made a direct impact to the Whitecaps MLS squad, and that, on top of several controversies in the community, has led the Vancouver Whitecaps Academy to be seen as not the greatest. However, like all MLS academies, it does take local players and get them professional contracts in Major League Soccer. Today I'm going to be running through every single Vancouver Whitecaps Academy graduate who has signed a homegrown contract with the team in Major League Soccer. Now, unlike CF Montreal and Toronto FC when I did this video for them, there seem to be quite a lot of guys who the Whitecaps have signed a homegrown contracts who didn't go through their academy. However, thankfully on the Whitecaps website, they list a list of guys who went through the academy and signed homegrown contracts. So I'm going to be focusing on this group. All in all, to date, 25 players have signed homegrown contracts in MLS after coming through the Vancouver Whitecaps Academy. And here they are. First off, the first ever homegrown player academy signing for the Vancouver Whitecaps, Philippe Davies. Philippe Davies was a guy who came through the Whitecaps Academy before they were in MLS and actually was a regular for the first team in the 2010 season when they played in the USSF Division II League. When the Whitecaps joined MLS for the 2011 season, he signed a homegrown player contract with the newly formed MLS team. However, he would never make an appearance for the Whitecaps in MLS, and his contract was ended at the end of the 2011 season. He went on following 2011 to sign for the Richmond Kickers in USL for the 2012 and 2013 seasons, being a regular there for both of those 2 seasons, and he signed in 2014 for the Ottawa Fury for their inaugural season in NASL in 2014. After being a regular for the 2014 Ottawa Fury, he unfortunately broke his arm in training camp of the 2015 season, only played 5 games throughout the 2015 season for the Fury, and unfortunately retired from professional football at the end of the 2015 season. However, he returned to football to play for Longueuil in the 2016 and 17 PLSQ seasons, and now he spends his time coaching in Quebec. Despite never making it into MLS, he did make 1 appearance for the Canadian national team in a friendly against Denmark in 2013. The second academy homegrown signing for the Vancouver Whitecaps back in 2011 was Russel Teibert. Mr. Whitecaps, Russel Teibert did make 1 appearance for the 2010 Whitecaps in the USSF second division, but since then he has been a regular pretty much every season for the Vancouver Whitecaps, making a team record 290 appearances for the team since they joined MLS, scoring 5 times. He has also served as club captain since the 2020 season. On the international side of things, Teibert has made 27 appearances for the Canadian national team, all between the years of 2012 and 2020, where he scored 2 goals. Unfortunately for him, the rise in the Canadian national team in the early 2020s has phased him out of the lineup. Bryce Alderson was a very promising youngster for the Whitecaps when he signed a first-team homegrown contract at the end of the 2011 season. Coming off winning the Canadian U17 Player of the Year award in back-to-back years in 2010 and 2011, he was a guy that the Whitecaps thought could make an impact in the first team. However, in 3 professional seasons with the Whitecaps, he never made an appearance in either 2012, 13, or 14, and he spent 2013 out on loan with the Charleston Battery in the USL. He was released by the Whitecaps at the end of the 2014 season, and he traveled after that to Germany to join Fortuna Dusseldorf 2 in the German 4th tier, where he made 15 appearances in the 2015-16 season. However, being unable to stick in the pro game, he retired from football after that. Forward Caleb Clarke became the first Whitecaps homegrown player signing who was actually born in the Vancouver area when he signed with the Whitecaps at the beginning of the 2012 season. He was in and around the Whitecaps team from 2012 to 2015, but he only made 2 appearances for the first team in that span. He did find some success on loans to FC Augsburg 2 in the German 4th tier in the 2013-14 season, and on loan to the Whitecaps 2 in the USL in the 2015 season. However, following the 2015 season, his contract was not renewed with the Whitecaps. Following being being released by the Whitecaps at the end of 2015, he closed out the 2015-16 German League season with 4th tier SPVGG Unterhaching, and then he spent the following 2016-17 season bouncing around between FC Amberg in the German 5th tier and their B team in an even lower division. He left the German League at the end of the 2016-17 season, returning home to Vancouver, where he fell out of the pro game, bouncing around with different teams in the amateur Vancouver Metro Soccer League. However, in the 2019 season, he did briefly feature for the Victoria Highlanders in the USL League 2, and in the 2022 season, he played with Varsity FC in the newly formed League 1 BC. However, he currently is not on the Natsumat FC roster, so it seems he hasn't survived the ownership change there, and so where he is playing this summer remains up in the air. Despite a tumultuous career, Caleb Clarke did actually make 2 appearances for the Canadian national team, once in 2013 and once in 2015. Next, we have a guy Canadian national team fans are very familiar with, Sam Adekugbe. Adekugbe signed with the Whitecaps in August of 2013, making his first appearance for the first team in the last game of the 2013 MLS season. He was a part of the Whitecaps organization from 2013 to 2017. However, he never found regular play time with the Whitecaps, making just 23 appearances across 4 seasons for the team, and the most he ever made in one season was 14 appearances in the 2015 season. He did spend the 2016-17 English League season on loan with Brighton and Hove Albion in the English Championship. However, he only featured 5 times for that squad, as well as spending the 2017 season on loan with Gothenburg in the Swedish top flight. Following the 2017 MLS season, he signed with Norwegian top-tier side Vålerenga for the 2018 season, and he would finally find regular minutes, being a regular starter for the next 3.5 years for the Norwegian side. In the summer of 2021, he would sign with Hatayspor in the Turkish top flight, making 37 appearances in 2021-22 and 19 appearances in 2022-23 before the team tragically had to shut down for the remainder of the 2022-2023 season due to the earthquakes in Turkey. However, currently he is on loan with Turkish giants Besiktas in the top flight. A guy who has established himself as a major contributor to the Canadian national team in the last few years, Adekugbe has made 39 Canadian appearances, including playing in all 3 games at the World Cup for Canada. Marco Carducci signed with the Whitecaps at the beginning of the 2014 season, making 2 appearances in the Canadian Championship for the club that year. After that, he was never able to break back into the Whitecaps first team, spending 2015 and 2016 both on loan with the Whitecaps 2 in USL. With his contract not extended for the 2017 MLS season, he spent 2017 with Rio Grande Valley FC in the USL, and following one season in USL, he went back home to Calgary to join the Calgary Foothills in the Premier Development League, where he helped that team win the PDL championship in the 2018 season. Following a successful 2018 in the PDL, he followed head coach Tommy Wheeldon Jr. to the first ever inaugural CPL season, where they both joined Calgary's Cavalry FC in the CPL. Carducci has been in the CPL since then, winning the 2019 CPL Goalkeeper of the Year award when he also helped the Cavalry win the CPL regular season championship in that inaugural season. At the beginning of the 2022 season, he unfortunately was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and he had to miss the first couple games of that season while he was recovering from surgery. However, despite that, he battled back from cancer to end up winning the 2022 CPL Goalkeeper of the Year award, his second time winning that honor. Carducci has not yet made an appearance for the Canadian national team, but he has been called up to the squad on several occasions, including back in 2019, when for the September Nations League window, he became the first ever Canadian Premier League player to earn a call-up to the Canadian national team. Kianz Froese is a name that some hardcore national team fans may be familiar with. He signed as a homegrown player for the Whitecaps in September of 2014 after making 1 appearance on a short-term loan with them in the Canadian Championship. He would go on to make 24 appearances for the Whitecaps, scoring 2 goals between the 2014 and 2016 seasons. Following the 2016 MLS season, he was sold to Fortuna Düsseldorf in Germany, where he would go on to make 55 appearances over 3 seasons for Fortuna Düsseldorf's B team in the 4th German division, unfortunately never cracking Fortuna Düsseldorf's main squad. For the 2019-20 season, after being released by Düsseldorf, he joined FC Saarbrücken in the German 4th tier, where he helped them win promotion to the German 3 Liga. Following that promotion-winning season, he has bounced around the German 3 Liga for the last couple of seasons. Back in his Whitecap days, though, he did make 2 appearances for the Canadian national team, one in 2015 and one in 2016. Marco Bustos signed with the Whitecaps at the beginning of the 2015 season after already having made 1 appearance for the first team back in the 2014 Canadian Championship. He split the 2015, 2016, and 2017 MLS seasons between the Whitecaps and the Whitecaps 2, making a total of 13 appearances for the Whitecaps first team between those 3 years. Following the 2017 season, he was loaned out to Zacatepec in the Mexican 2nd tier, and he made 8 appearances there. However, midway through the 2018 MLS season, his contract was terminated by the Whitecaps. He would close out the 2018 season with the OKC Energy in the USL and started the 2019 season with OKC before, about a month into the inaugural CPL season, signing with Valor FC. Following the 2019 season, Bustos would move to Pacific FC, where he developed into a monstrous player in the Canadian Premier League, being one of the best creative players in the league, helping Pacific win the 2021 CPL Championship. Also in 2021, he temporarily became the CPL's all-time leading goal scorer when he scored his 15th goal in that league. Following the 2022 CPL season, he left Pacific, signing with Värnamo in the Swedish top flight. A highly touted prospect in his younger days, Bustos made 6 appearances for the Canadian national team between 2015 and 2017. Ben McKendry signed for the Whitecaps during the 2015 season, but he did not appear for the first team until 2016. Between the 2016 and 2017 seasons, he made 7 total appearances for the Whitecaps first team, and then was loaned out to FC Edmonton of the then NASL for the remainder of the 2017 season. Following his contract not being extended by the Whitecaps for the 2018 season, he went and joined TPS of the Finnish top flight for the 2018 Finnish League season. However, following the team being relegated at the end of the 2018 season, he went to the Swedish 3rd tier, signing with Nyköping BIS. Following 2 seasons abroad in Europe, he joined newly formed Atletico Ottawa for the 2020 Canadian Premier League season, playing for Atletico Ottawa in the CPL for the 2020, 2021, and 2022 Canadian Premier League seasons. However, he currently is a free agent, having not been re-signed by Ottawa for the 2023 season. Ben McKendry made 1 national team appearance for Canada back in the 2017 season. Alphonso Davies, the most relevant Canadian footballer internationally ever, and already one of the most relevant Canadian athletes on the global scale. The story of Alphonso Davies is one every Canadian football fan knows. Signing with the Whitecaps in 2015 at the age of 15. He became the 3rd youngest player ever to sign an MLS contract and was the 2nd youngest both to play in and start a Major League Soccer game. A regular for the Whitecaps in 2017 and 2018, in the summer of 2018 he signed a pre-transfer to Bayern Munich for the end of the 2018 season after he himself turned 18 and was legally able to be transferred for what at the time was a then MLS record $22 million transfer fee. Well, he didn't jump right into the Bayern Munich lineup, only making 6 appearances to close out the 2018-19 season. He quickly asserted himself as a regular in the 2019-20 Bayern squad, helping them win the UEFA Champions League and solidifying himself as one of the best left backs in the world. Since then, Davies has remained a regular starter at Bayern, helping them win 4 Bundesliga titles, 1 in every season he's been there, 2 DFB Pokals, the aforementioned UEFA Champions League, and the 2020 Club World Cup. Individually, he has been named to 2 Bundesliga squads of the season, 1 UEFA Champions League squad of the season. He has been named to the IFFHS Men's All-World Team in 3 consecutive years in 2020, 2021, and 2022. He was the CONCACAF Player of the Year for 2021. He's been the Canadian Men's National Player of the Year in 2018, 2021, and 2022, winning that 4 times. And he's won the Lou Marsh Trophy for Best Canadian Athlete overall back in 2020. On the national team side of things, he has been an absolute legend. In 39 appearances for the Canadian national team, he scored 13 goals, including Canada's first ever goal at a FIFA World Cup, and he was one of just 5 players to play in every minute of the 2022 Qatar World Cup for Canada. His first Canada cap came back in 2017 in a friendly before the 2017 Gold Cup, where at the age of 16, he became the youngest ever player to play for the Canadian men's national team, and at the age of 16 back in 2017 in that one tournament, he would go on to win the Gold Cup Golden Boot, make the best 11, and was named the best young player of the tournament. Without a doubt, Alphonso Davies is the best player ever to come out of one of the Canadian MLS academies. The guy with the misfortune to be the chronologic next homegrown player academy signing for the Whitecaps after Alphonso Davies was David Norman Jr. Now, David Norman Jr. has made out a pretty good career for himself in his own right. Signing for the Whitecaps at the beginning of the 2018 season, he only made 1 appearance in the Canadian Championship for them, despite being with the team for both the 2018 and 19 seasons. For the fall of 2018, he was loaned to Scottish Championship side Queen of the South, and for the fall of 2019, he was loaned to Pacific FC of the Canadian Premier League. Prior to the 2020 season, he was traded to Inter Miami. However, he failed to make an appearance for the Inter Miami squad, being released from his contract at the end of the 2020 MLS season. Following failing to crack a MLS squad, he signed with Cavalry FC in the Canadian Premier League prior to the 2021 season, and instantly solidified himself as a key player in the Canadian Premier League, being a key fixture of both the Cavalry's 2021 and 2022 squads. Following the 2022 CPL season, he was able to earn himself a move to Northampton Town in the English League 2, the 4th tier of English football, where he currently plays. The second of a whopping 6 goalkeepers on this list, Sean Melvin also signed for the Whitecaps in 2018. He signed with the Whitecaps after spending 2 consecutive seasons performing decently well with the Whitecaps 2 in the USL. However, he never featured for the Whitecaps first team and was released following the 2019 season. For the 2020 season, he went to the USL's Colorado Springs Switchbacks, where he was the starting keeper for both the 2020 and 2021 seasons. For 2022, he joined Atletico Ottawa in the Canadian Premier League, where he currently serves as a backup to Nathan Ingham. Melvin's another guy who cracked 1 Canadian national team squad, playing in a friendly against Bermuda back in 2017. Simon Collins signed for the Whitecaps early in 2018 at the bright young age of 16 years old, and he actually made 1 appearance for the Whitecaps as a substitute in the final game of the 2018 season. After failing to crack back into the Whitecaps squad in 2019 and the beginning of 2020, he was loaned out to Italian Serie B side Spal for the 2020-2021 season, but did not make any first team appearances for that squad. For the 2021-22 season, he was loaned to Jan PSV in the Dutch second division, PSV's secondary team, and he found regular playtime there, eventually signing a full-time contract with Jan PSV for the 2022-23 season, where he currently plays. Michael Baldisimo, a rare guy on this list who actually found some semi-regular playtime with the Whitecaps. Baldisimo signed with the Whitecaps in 2018 after spending 2017 with the Whitecaps too. Despite signing in 2018, he did not appear for the Whitecaps until the 2020 season, when he began playing quite regularly. Over the next 3 seasons, Baldisimo would make 50 appearances for the Whitecaps, scoring 1 goal. However, following the 2022 season, his contract was not extended with the Whitecaps, leaving him as a free agent. He was picked up in the offseason by the San Jose Earthquakes, where he currently has been playing to start off the 2023 MLS season. Baldisimo has not been called up by the Canadian national team, but interestingly, with his dual citizenship with the Philippines, he has gone and trained with the Filipino national team on a couple of occasions. Theo Bair, a once promising young striker for the Whitecaps, Bair signed with the team at the beginning of the 2019 season, making 18 appearances for them in 2019. Overall, he made 39 appearances for the Whitecaps between 2019 and 2021, scoring 3 goals, but following a decrease in playtime down to just 4 appearances in 2021, he was loaned out to HomeGrown in the Norwegian second tier for the second half of the 2021 season. In January of 2022, he was transferred to St. Johnstone in the Scottish Premiership, where he plays to this day. Bair made 2 appearances for Canada back in the January 2020 friendly matches, where he scored 1 goal. Thomas Hasal, the hero of the 2020 MLS Is Back tournament. Hasal signed with the Whitecaps back in 2019, but did not appear for the team until the 2020 MLS Is Back tournament. When starting keeper Maxime Crepeau went down with an injury in the second game, Hasal stepped into the lineup and did not concede a single goal in regulation time over the next 2.5 matches he played in that tournament. Hasal continued to back up Crepeau for the 2020 2021 season before becoming the team's first choice keeper when Crépeau left to go to LAFC for the 2022 season. However, for 2023, he has lost the starting role to newcomer Yohai Tekolka. Chituru Odunze, still a very young goalkeeper, the massive 6'7" goalkeeper, signed with the Whitecaps in 2019 at the age of 16 after previously having spent time in the Whitecaps Academy with the Calgary Foothills, with the Calgary Villains, and with Chelsea FC's Academy. Later in 2019, he would move back to England, where he signed with Leicester, joining their academy. Now, he has since slowly developed in the Leicester Academy, moving up the youth ranks there, and he currently plays pretty regularly in the Premier League 2 Under-23 English League. Odunze is a rare quadruple international, as he is currently eligible to play for all 4 of the Canadian, American, English, and Nigerian national teams. However, so far he has represented the US at the youth level. Georgia's Mukumbilwa signed with the Whitecaps back in the 2019 season, making one appearance for the team back in 2019. During the 2020 season, visa issues kept him from traveling to the US when the Whitecaps were forced to play most of their season in the United States, and so following the 2020 season, he was released from the team. Following that disaster, he was not able to play professional football until 2022 when he signed with the CPL's Pacific FC, where he currently plays. Gianfranco Facchineri is a center back who was signed by the Whitecaps at the start of the 2020 season. Midway through the 2020 season, he was loaned out to Atletico Ottawa in the CPL for the 2020 CPL Island Games. After not making an appearance in the first half of the 2021 season, he was yet again loaned out, this time to the USL's San Diego Loyal. Released by the Whitecaps at the end of the 2021 season, he began attending the University of Windsor in 2022 and began playing for the University of Windsor Lancers starting that year. He also has signed with Windsor City FC for the 2023 League One Ontario season. Patrick Metcalfe signed with the Whitecaps prior to the 2020 MLS season and made 21 appearances for the Whitecaps, split between the 2020 and 2021 seasons. Following the 2021 season, his contract option was declined by the Whitecaps and he went and joined Stabæk in the Norwegian 2nd Division. However, in 2022, he helped them win promotion to the Norwegian top flight, after which he was sold to Fredrikstad, another team in the Norwegian 2nd tier. Damiano Pecile was signed in the 2020 season, making his debut late in the season for the Whitecaps. He was loaned to Italian Serie B side Venezia for the 2021-2022 season, where he captained their U19 team for that year. Following an impressive 2021-2022 for their U19 side, he was signed permanently by Venezia for 2022-23, and he was sent on loan to Finnish top flight side KTP for the 2023 Finnish League season. Another goalkeeper, Isaac Boehmer, was signed by the Whitecaps in the 2020 season, but did not make his first professional appearance until being loaned out to the CPL's Pacific FC at the end of the 2021 season. In 2022, he made 3 appearances for the Whitecaps first team. However, he has been loaned back down to the Whitecaps 2, where he currently plays. Kamron Habbibulah, a promising young forward. Habbibulah was signed by the Whitecaps at the beginning of the 2021 season, and he made 3 appearances for the Whitecaps first team in 2021. For 2022, he was loaned out to Pacific FC in the Canadian Premier League, where he put in a regular shift. For 2023, he was back with the Whitecaps. However, it has been loaned out to Whitecaps 2, where he has found quite a bit of success, scoring 3 goals in the first 4 matches. Matteo Campagna is a young defender who was signed to the Whitecaps in 2021, and at the end of the 2021 season was loaned out for the last couple months of the season to York United in the Canadian Premier League. He spent 2022 with the Whitecaps 2 in MLS Next Pro and made his first team debut for the Whitecaps in the 2023 CONCACAF Champions League. And finally, Max Anchor, the now 18-year-old keeper, signed a short-term loan with the Whitecaps in May of 2022 when they were having their whole goalkeeper injury fiasco, when they had 3 goalies all hurt at the same time. And so the 17-year-old keeper was forced to start a match against the Chicago Fire in Major League Soccer, making him the 2nd youngest goalkeeper goalkeeper ever to start a match in Major League Soccer. Following playing his one game for the Whitecaps, Anchor joined the Whitecaps 2 for the remainder of the 2022 season, and for 2023 he had a pre-contract which kicked in, making him an official full-time contracted player of the Vancouver Whitecaps. Although he has an official contract with the first team for 2023, he has been loaned back out to the Whitecaps 2 where he remains this season. So there you have it. That is every single one of the Vancouver Whitecaps FC homegrown signings out of their academy. A total of 25 players so far have signed first team deals out of the Whitecaps academy into Major League Soccer. Overall, these players have made 636 appearances for the Vancouver Whitecaps, although almost half of those are Russel Teibert, and they have scored 23 goals, of which about half of those are Alphonso Davies. For the Canadian national team, Whitecaps academy graduates have made a total of 119 appearances, a significant proportion of those split between Davies, Adekugbe, and Teibert, and have scored 17 goals. Again, a significant proportion of those split between Davies, Adekugbe, and Teibert. So overall, the Vancouver Whitecaps academy has produced some solid players, and a couple of those more recent guys seem like they could end up making a significant impact for the Whitecaps in the next couple of years. So there you have it. Let me know how you think the Whitecaps academy has done at producing players down below in the comments, and always, if you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more of my stuff, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, link is down below in the description, and I will see you next time.